Hi, Miranda. So Miranda is a counselling psychologist with nearly 20 years experience in helping support healing from emotional and psychological issues to realise positive change. With the creation of Evolve Wellbeing, Miranda realised her passion in supporting others to create the life best lived by designing healing spaces and place to feel safe, encouraged and gently challenged in working through the painful elements of the human condition. So I'm going to hand over to Miranda now. Speak of you. Thank you so much, Miranda. We can't wait.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
We can. The sound is perfect.
Wonderful. It's good to be with you. So yes, I'm Miranda. I'm the founder of Evolve Wellbeing, and we've been here in Capalaba for nearly 10 years. One of the most important things as a psychological clinic was to create a safe space, and that was to create a sanctuary. As you can see, hopefully you can see a little tour. And we've got our front of house practice manager, Christina. So Christina's the first point of contact for anyone who wants to come along to our service, and people can ask any questions about fees, accessing our services. So we see a broad range of people across the lifespan, so individuals, families, couples, children and young people. Now we don't do assessments. People don't need to have a mental health care plan, or if they have their GP and they are eligible, they may be able to access rebates through the mental health care plan or private health. The practice and vision here is really about creating change. Now we do that through creating an environment, an ambience that creates a sense of space and safety the moment people walk through the door. So that's having the front of house staff where it can be a quiet, calming space. People are often offered tea or coffee, as well as introduced to their practitioner, and that happens before they actually even walk through the door here. Now we're going to have a little treat here. We're going to introduce you to one of our lead clinicians here, Heidi, and she has a very special companion with her, and his name is Socks. I'll also give you a quick tour of some of the other rooms and our healing spaces here at Evolve that the clinicians will use. And just to give you a little sense of what our private practice setup can also look like. Now I'm going to try and set us up here. This is Heidi.
Hello everybody.
And we've also got Socks.
Socks is our therapy dog and he often helps.
Wonderful. So I'm hoping that this is going to be okay for everybody in terms of audio, as we have a little interview about Are You OK Day. We're very grateful to be part of this, and the thing that strikes me most about Are You OK is asking this question not so much to others but often to ourselves, because if we are able to truly check in and say, am I actually going okay, and ask and answer authentically, what do I need to be okay, and access that support, we are going to be much better able to serve those others who may not be okay. And when they reach out to us, we'll be able to help them compassionately and authentically. Here at Evolve Wellbeing, we do have individual therapy services with our psychologists. We have a provisional psychologist who works specifically with children and young people who has availability currently and taking on new clients, because I know with the current climate and COVID, a lot of things have ramped up and it's been really, really hard for people to access psychology services with such long waiting lists, which is why we're attempting to diversify and open up as much as possible so we can get clients in without too much of a wait and be able to schedule regular appointments for them, because I think that's a big part of treatment, having that early engagement and continuity in treatment. The other services that we also offer through Evolve and that have evolved over the years has been through yoga instruction and yoga as a form of complementary healing, as well as psychology. So we have yoga and mental health classes, so yoga for depression, anxiety, stress, and yoga for trauma. And these are run on an as-needs basis, so we often generate levels of interest, and when we have enough participants, we can run that. And those classes can also be Medicare rebated. The other options we have for some workshops and small groups has been for young women, so young women up to the age of 18, and having little seminars focusing on self-harm and well-being, coping with relationships and stress, coping with puberty, friendships, and overall well-being for young women. Again, that is also run as the demand calls for it. So if anyone has any participants or wants to ask any questions about that, please contact us. Now, the way we are contacted can be through phone, our Facebook page, our website, which is www.evolvewellbeing.com.au. And again, phone can be a really good point of contact because Christina or Natasha will always be available up until 6 p.m. to answer any phone calls there. So we have a little bit more of some questions that Heidi and I will be able to share a bit of a dialogue around. So I was going to ask you, Heidi, what can people actually expect when they come along to Evolve Wellbeing and access our services?
I think we provide a very caring environment, and we have practitioners with very different specialties.
Mm-hmm.
So we can actually help a wide range of people, and we really all love to support.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think we all are also interested on personal development and looking at life as a gift that we can work with.
Absolutely. What's been your experience in coming along and working with us?
It has been incredible for me because I never worked in a team where everybody supported each other in any way and I would always feel very comfortable to talk to you. Miranda.
Oh, thank you.
If I would struggle and whatever, I would feel very safe.
Oh, thank you.
That is not something that I have previously encountered.
So are you okay?
Yes, at the moment I'm okay. I just came back from a holiday.
Perfect. I like that you said at the moment. I was thinking about that question yesterday. And had you asked me yesterday, I'd be like, oh, heck no. A week ago, pretty good maybe. A month ago, kicking it, winning. And today, it's okay. I'm okay today, but yesterday, completely different story. So we have to really keep in mind that it's not just about today, are we okay today, but it's going to look different. And we're all going to have days where we're really going to struggle. And we need to have connections to reach out, because one of the biggest issues that we're facing as well and into the future is the epidemic that's going to be around loneliness. Connecting via Zoom, connecting via technology has such great benefits, but I think on so many fundamental levels it does not replace the chemistry, the connection we have to have in that face-to-face. So that's really important to keep in mind, that this Are You OK Day is an ongoing, am I okay? Are you okay? How are you going this week? So Heidi, what's one piece of advice that you might, offer to someone who's struggling?
You know, as humans, I think we will always encounter things and challenges in our lives that we struggle with. And I always say to clients, all your clients come with a manual, but we haven't come with a manual. And then if we can actually go and talk to somebody that might help us, then somebody might help us to figure out what it is and teaching us some skills.
Absolutely. What's some of your biggest tips that you might take on for yourself to try to ensure that you're okay?
Self-care, that, you know, I reflect often after, you know, a client or after a day, what has happened? Is there still some residue? What might that be all about? And is there anything that is unresolved that I need to address?
Absolutely. And what about having Socks as your companion?
Socks is a real de-stressor. encourages regular exercise and also interaction with nature, and seeing that different creatures have different needs at times.
Absolutely.
And he also can be really good, like where I live, the dog is a real celebrity. They don't know my name, but all the kids know Sox's name.
I think in my experience of being a person, being a human, and having struggled at times, as well as the decades of working with wonderful, wonderful people who I feel so privileged to have shared part of their journey, one of the advice, and it's not so much advice, it's just a question for them to come back for themselves, is what do you want in this moment? Whatever you are experiencing, what's the first thing that comes to mind that you might need right now for yourself? That could be peace, it could be just respite, it could be connection. And it's interesting what people will say, that very first thing that comes to mind, and it can be such an opportunity to unpack everything that unfolds from that. And that's where we realize that positive change and our other core value of having fun. And it's about creating the life worth living. We want to live not to work, we want to work to live. We want to live well and live happily. But what that looks like for each person, as Heidi said, we don't come with a one-size-fits-all manual. We have to write our own manual along the way. And each chapter is going to have an inherently different flavour. Scary, exciting, wonderful, terrifying, and all of the above. So finally, what is one thing people can say after, "Are you okay?"
Are you okay? Yes. But
if someone says to you, "Are you okay?" or if you ask them, "Are you okay?" and they say, "Not really."
so,
What comes next?
you know, would you like to talk about it?
Absolutely.
How long have you been feeling like this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think even beyond having to say something, it's allowing ourselves pause to just hear the response. Being attuned, being present. So often we answer automatically, "Yep, fine, how are you, hello." But if we are genuinely wanting to know how someone is going, asking them, "How are you going? Are you okay?" But stop. Wait for the response. Whatever they say, it's going to be okay if we can just be there, because sometimes it's not even about words, it's just knowing that there's that presence and connection. So that wraps up our little Evolve experience for today. Thank you so much for having us along.
Yes,
That is
thank you so much.
fantastic.
I'm not sure if you could see much of good old Socks down there.
It's beautiful. I can see why Socks is a celebrity. What a sweetheart. And thank you so much as well, Heidi. It was lovely to have you on. Really fantastic. And I think you're both exactly right. You know, there is no manual, right? And I think one of the big things that's highlighted by Are You OK Day this year is exactly as you said earlier, Miranda, is, you know, what happens after tomorrow. You know, Are You OK Day is fantastic, and it really provides that that pause for people to ask and check in with each other. But then it's really important to know that if somebody's okay today, they may not be okay tomorrow, or if they're not okay today, they may be okay next week. So it's really a key point this year to make sure that we are continually checking in with people. We are providing that listening ear. You know, there's so many amazing points that you've mentioned today. So thank you so much for your time, the three of you.
Thank you. All right.
And have a wonderful rest of your day.
And take care.
You too. Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Thank you. Now